Come on, admit it, you all have dream superhero fights that you want to see come to life, whether it's something from the comics that hasn't been adapted yet, or it's something you hope might happen someday. Now, although we've been blessed with some of the most legendary fight scenes from the MCU and the DCEU, that doesn't stop fans from dreaming of what could be, and thanks to the movie Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, we might actually see the rise of hero versus hero movies. What's going on, all you nerdy folk out there? My name is Jack, and today we're going to be talking about some of these superhero fights that we all want to see on the big screen one day. So, let's get into it, shall we? Number 10, Avengers vs Defenders. So, this one does kind of stretch the rule about having to be based on the comics, as the Defenders team that fought the Avengers isn't remotely similar to the one that we see in the Netflix Defenders series, but still, fans are eager to see Marvel's movie and television superhero teams cross over, and a full-on battle between the groups would be an immensely satisfying way of doing it. While the two teams have fought on other occasions, the best brawl between them happened in the Avengers-Defenders War storyline from the 1970s. It saw the likes of Doctor Strange take on Black Panther and Black Mantis, Hulk vs Thor, and Iron Man exchanging blows with Hawkeye. In an adaptation, these could be swapped for, say, Daredevil vs Captain America, Jessica Jones vs Black Widow, and Luke Cage vs Iron Man, and I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? Number 9, Thor vs the Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four fans are still mourning over Fox's failure to reignite the big screen career of Marvel's first family, mostly because that means we won't get to see the Silver Surfer on the screen for quite some time. Hopefully Marvel obtains the rights back for him soon, because if they do, a great way to introduce that cosmic hero would be to adapt his classic fight with Thor. In Silver Surfer number 4, we see Loki trick the pair into believing the other is evil, causing the Thunder God and Galactus' former herald to properly try and destroy the other. Eventually, of course, they do both realize they've been duped and team up to take on Loki. Could this fight be Chris Hemsworth's goodbye to the role? Probably not, but man, I think it would be a pretty cool way to go. Number 8, Batman vs Daredevil. Now, The Dark Knight first met the man without fear in the Elseworlds story Daredevil and Batman by writer D.G. Chichester and artist Scott McDaniel and Gregory Wright. When Two-Face murders a bunch of Wayne Tech employees, Batman takes the attack personally and feels even more than usual that it's his job to force a murderer to pay for his crimes. After tracking the villain from Gotham to New York City, Batman ended up in the same sewer system as Daredevil, who is also trying to get to the bottom of a string of gold-plated circuit board robberies turned murder cases. Thinking Daredevil may somehow be involved in the murders, Batman attempts to attack and interrogate him, but Daredevil's heightened senses allow him to pick up on Batman and repel his attacks. They fight each other back and forth for a while, with few hits actually being landed because of their comparable skills, before coming to the conclusion that they're actually working on the same case and they eventually team up. With the Daredevil Netflix series no longer in production, this could be an interesting way to not only reintroduce the character, but also bridge the gap between Marvel and DC. I mean, even if it's not canon, I think it would definitely be a fight worth watching. Number 7, Hulk vs The Thing. Fair warning, the Hulk is a major contributor to this list today because, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to see him square off against the other heroes Marvel has to offer? As for the Hulk vs. The Thing, these two powerhouses have faced off many times before, but their most memorable battle takes place in 1964's Fantastic Four number 24 to 26 because it shows just how powerful the Hulk really is. By the end, it's unclear if even the full might of the Avengers can bring him down, and for the first time since he got his powers, Ben Grimm is genuinely uncertain that he can beat an opponent. And come on, when the Thing thinks you're tough, you're pretty tough. I think this will be a really interesting fight to see on the big screen, although it might be a bit far off since the Fantastic Four movies haven't really been the most well received in the past, and we'd probably need another reboot or introduction into the MCU before anyone starts fighting each other. Number 6, Avengers vs X-Men. Now, the duel between Sony and Marvel that saw Spider-Man brought into the MCU was definitely unprecedented and shows that competing studios can work together. Let's hope Fox is taking notice and that they're thinking of teaming up with Marvel to give us an Avengers vs X-Men movie. In the comics, the two teams start a full-on war when they find out that Hope Summers is destined to be the new host of the Phoenix Force, which is something that the mutants think is their salvation while the Avengers believe it is humanity's downfall. With how big a flop Dark Phoenix was, this might be the way for Marvel and Fox to bring the X-Men back into the spotlight. Let me know what X-Men you'd want to see duke it out with the Avengers in the comments below. Number 5, Shazam vs Superman. With DC Shazam finally being introduced in the DCEU through the movie Shazam, this idea might be on its way sooner than we actually think. Now, if you're not familiar with the character Shazam, he's usually portrayed as a kid named Billy Batson until he gains superpowers from saying the word Shazam. In Elseworlds story Kingdom Come, which sees the Justice League fight it out with a new breed of superpowered vigilantes, Superman and Shazam come face to face to square off. Though the two are pretty evenly powered, Shazam gets the edge on the Man of Steel thanks to the repeated use of his magic lightning bolt. Considering that they've done it with Ben Affleck's Batman, giving Superman a beating is clearly a surefire way of making this character a staple in the DCEU. Can't wait to see the live adaptation? Well, check out Superman/Batman Public Enemies in the meantime to get your fill. Number 4, World War Hulk. Now, after Hulk drifted off into space at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, fans were really hoping it would lead into a movie adaptation of Planet Hulk, the comic story which sees the not-so-jolly green giant take over an alien world. Basically, this storyline follows Hulk's quest for revenge after his pregnant wife is killed, by accident, by the spaceship explosion that sent him into space. Blaming Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic, the two who sent him into space in the first place, you can only imagine how powerful a grief-fueled Hulk is. Now, just because we didn't get it doesn't mean that we won't get it one day, right? I mean, who knows, it might be the standalone Hulk movie we've all been waiting for. If you want to find out more about this incredible storyline, check it out where it all starts in The Incredible Hulk Volume 2, number 92, or in 2010's animated adaptation of the same name. Number 3, Spider-Man vs. Hulk. Now, Hulk battling Spider-Man has long been a staple for the animated world of Marvel. From video games to television series, the coupling of the quick-witted and fast-moving Peter Parker with the lumbering and dull-witted alter ego of Bruce Banner has long been a fun and enjoyable odd couple. Like, seriously, come on, if you search Hulk vs. Spider-Man on the internet, you get so many results, a lot of them being fan animations, so this is clearly something we want, Marvel, why not just give it to us already? All we have right now is that television commercial where they replaced Spider-Man with Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, and that was great, don't get me wrong, but it's not what we want. With Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo being so perfectly cast in their respective roles, I think this is something that could be done and done well. Number 2, Superman vs. Doomsday. DC's Death of Superman storyline was one of the most important events in the Man of Steel's history. It received so much coverage from the mainstream media, so just imagine how popular this movie would be. As we saw in Superman number 75 and all his other appearances, Doomsday was a deadly monster, genetically engineered only to destroy. After thrashing the Justice League around, Doomsday encountered the only person strong enough to take him down, Superman. Doomsday pushed Superman to his limits and beyond, and Superman was ultimately victorious, but it did cost him his own life. Even Doomsday died in the battle, with both of them eventually turning to life, but that's not the point here. I would be interested to see how DC might pull this off. I mean, maybe they're saving it for Henry Cavill's final goodbye as the Man of Steel. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments below. Number 1, Deadpool vs. Wolverine. Now, unfortunately, this one is pretty unlikely, but as a huge Deadpool fan, I can only hope. Even though Deadpool has finally made it to the big screen in the way that he finally deserves, Hugh Jackman has already made his last appearance as Wolverine, and he's apparently sheathed his adamantium claws forever. Still, it would be amazing if this could somehow happen one day. Though Logan and Wade have gone mano-a-mano in the comics, their fights haven't really made comic fans go that crazy. A movie which saw the pair going at it certainly would though. Apart from being evenly matched opponents, as they're both Weapon X creations with healing powers, Deadpool and Wolverine are probably X-Men franchise's two most successful characters. Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool director Tim Miller have also said they would love to make a Deadpool vs. Wolverine movie, and Hugh Jackman has confessed his admiration for the Deadpool character before, so could they maybe coax him to play the character just one more time? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Well, that'll be it for this video, guys. Do you have any other dream superhero fights that you'd like to see wind up on the big screen one day? Well, let us know in the comments below, and maybe we'll make a part 2 covering them all. Don't forget to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd to stay up to date on all things nerdy, and why not ring that notification bell so you know whenever we upload a video. As always, my name is Jack. Thank you so much for watching, and stay nerdy, my friends. I'm gonna do that all again. I ran out of breath. I'll just go from the top, actually.
Just catch your breath, take some time.
Sweet.
Alright, you're good.
Cool. Shazam does get the edge on the Man of... Sorry, one more time.